Brooke and Ridge want to put Eric out to pasture. Recap. On today's The Bold and the Beautiful recap, Steffi and Finn stumble upon Eric's latest collection. Steffi and Finn are in the Forrester showroom looking over Eric's sketches. Steffi is stunned as they represent almost an entire collection and thinks his work is flawless. Finn is surprised to know Steffi had no clue her grandfather was working so hard away from the office. Finn thinks it was meant to be a presentation for Ridge. Steffi agrees and is horrified to realize her grandfather got the shaft rather than the opportunity to present his work. They both wonder if Ridge would have behaved differently had he known his father's intentions. Previous The Bold and the Beautiful, B&B, recap. Eric's designing obsession sparks worry in Donna. Condescending Ridge and Brooke think forced retirement is best for Eric on The Bold and the Beautiful. Brooke and Ridge are engaged in a tension-filled conversation with Eric and Donna in the Forrester main office. Brooke and Ridge are very condescending with Eric, saying they don't want him to push himself and will still consult and have lunch. Eric is enraged as he says he wants to design for the company he formed and built with his own two hands. Ridge and Eric get heated when Donna pipes up, saying Eric needs this work. She all but begs for Ridge to change his mind, but he is unmoved. Ridge says they are forcing him to retire for his own good, for the love. Eric thinks Ridge is being selfish. Ridge says he is more than ready to run Forrester Creations. What did you think of today's episode? Sound off in the comments and watch the video clip below. Keep checking back for the latest The Bold and the Beautiful recaps. The Forrester mansion was absolutely still, one of those rare mornings when light filtered through the tall windows with the softness of a memory. Yet even the calm couldn't hide the tension that vibrated through the family, because beneath every polished surface lay the truth no one wanted to say out loud. Eric Forrester was slipping. And Brooke Logan could see the signs long before Ridge allowed himself to admit them. 1. Shadows on the sketchpad. Eric sat alone in his office at Forrester Creations, tracing lines on paper that refused to behave. What once flowed, effortlessly, brilliantly, now faltered. His pen trembled, and each stroke became a negotiation. The titan of design, the man who built an empire with his bare hands and sharper instincts, stared at a blank sheet as though it were an old rival. "Come on," he whispered. "Just one more collection." Because this one mattered. This one would prove that he wasn't fading. Not obsolete. Not done. But the tremor returned, uninvited, and the line he drew wobbled off course. Eric closed his eyes, his chest tightening with a frustration he refused to name. 2. Brooke's realization. Brooke watched from the doorway, her heart breaking with every second. She had spent decades orbiting this family, marrying into it, fighting for it, loving it in all its messy glory, and she knew Eric better than many of his own children. She saw the struggle, she saw the decline, and she saw the danger of letting pride dictate the future. Ridge didn't want to talk about it. Not really. Not deeply. Ridge lived in a place of fierce loyalty, a heart that ran hotter than reason, especially when it came to his father. But Brooke had always been the one to speak the truth, even when it hurt. "Eric needs help," she told Ridge one night. Ridge's jaw tightened the way it always did when he pretended he wasn't affected. "He's fine. He's just pushing himself." Brooke shook her head. "He's hiding something." Her voice had that soft, dangerous clarity Ridge knew meant she wasn't going to back down. Brooke wasn't trying to replace Eric. She wasn't undermining him. She was protecting him, because she had seen men collapse under the weight of their own legends before. Ridge rubbed his forehead, torn between what he knew deep down and the son he was trying to be. "My father wants this collection. It's important to him." "I know," Brooke said gently. "But there comes a time when wanting isn't enough. Ridge, he's hurting." The silence between them was heavy enough to bow the walls. 3. Steffi's warning. Word travels fast in the Forrester universe. Faster than common sense, faster than privacy, faster even than love. Steffi overheard enough from the hallway to know that something was brewing, something that could crack the foundation of the family if handled poorly. She stormed into the office, eyes fierce, voice edged with steel. "You two aren't seriously thinking about pushing my grandfather aside." Brooke sighed, already weary from a battle Steffi had barely joined. It's not about pushing him out. It is exactly that, Steffi shot back. My grandfather built this company. Every model that walked down the runway, every dress that graced the cover of a magazine. His fingerprints are on all of it. Ridge stepped forward, trying to calm the storm he knew he'd helped create. Steffi, we're worried about him. He's not himself. So what? Steffi demanded. We're Forrester creations. When did compassion become optional? When did loyalty become conditional? Brooke felt the sting of those words. They were meant to cut. But Brooke also knew something Steffi didn't. Compassion sometimes meant stepping in, even when the other person didn't want you to. For Eric's stand. When Eric finally learned what Ridge and Brooke had discussed behind closed doors, the hurt etched itself across his face so deeply that even the strongest makeup artist in the fashion industry couldn't have smoothed it away. You think I'm done? His voice was quiet, but the disappointment in it was thunderous. No, Dad, Ridge said, reaching out. Eric pulled back. The distance was small, but it felt like miles. I'm not going out to pasture, Eric said. Not now. Not ever. Brooke stepped forward, her voice soft but unyielding. We're not asking you to stop being who you are. We're asking you to let us help. Eric's eyes, those proud, commanding eyes that had led the company for decades, narrowed. I don't need help. But the tremor in his hand betrayed him, and the sketchpad on his desk trembled with it. Ridge's face crumpled. Eric looked away. 5. A family divided. News spread as it always did. Donna cried. Steffi fumed. Thomas looked torn, equal parts loyal employee, protective grandson, and opportunistic designer with a sense for shifting power dynamics. Hope stood awkwardly in the middle, trying to balance empathy with diplomacy, which was never easy in a room full of Forresters. The company buzzed with whispers. Is Eric retiring? Is Ridge taking over again? Is Brooke pulling strings? Is this the end of the Forrester dynasty as we know it? And through all of it, Eric refused to yield. He poured himself into his designs, burning through the nights, forcing brilliance from a body that was quietly betraying him. When the pen shook, he steadied it with the fury of a man refusing to be erased. 6. Brooke's breaking point. She found Eric in the design room late one evening, hunched over a sketch, his breathing shallow, his hands trembling. Eric, she whispered, placing a hand on his shoulder. He didn't turn. He didn't want her pity.